In 2025, Australia's Disability Support Pension, known as the DSP, is undergoing some of the most significant updates in recent years. The government has introduced several key policy adjustments aimed at making the payment system more accessible, fairer, and better aligned with the rising cost of living. These changes are part of the federal budget's broader commitment to strengthen financial assistance for people living with disabilities, while also ensuring that taxpayers' funds are used responsibly. For many Australians, the Disability Support Pension is a lifeline. It provides crucial financial stability for those unable to engage in substantial work due to a permanent physical, intellectual, or psychiatric condition. However, as the cost of living has continued to rise and inflation pressures remain, advocacy groups and community organizations have been calling for a significant reform. In response, the government has moved forward with a series of changes that will take effect gradually throughout 2025. One of the most important changes involves payment rate adjustments. From March 2025, DSP recipients are expected to see an increase in their base rate payments, in line with the Consumer Price Index and wage growth trends. The increase will ensure that the pension keeps pace with the real costs of food, housing, and healthcare. While the exact figures vary depending on an individual situation, most single recipients will see an average boost of between $18 to $25 per fortnight, while couples could receive an increase of up to $38 combined. Another significant reform addresses eligibility assessments. Previously, many applicants struggled with the complex and often confusing medical evidence requirements. Under the new system, the process will be simplified to allow assessments based on both medical and functional capacity evidence. This means that applicants will have their conditions reviewed not only in terms of diagnosis, but also based on how their disabilities impact their daily activities and employability. The government believes this approach will lead to fairer outcomes and reduce delays in the approval process. The reforms also introduce a new work incentive program within the DSP. This initiative encourages recipients who can perform limited work to do so without losing their full pension benefits. Under the updated rules, individuals will be allowed to earn up to $270 per fortnight without it affecting their pension rate, an increase from the previous $190 threshold. The aim is to provide flexibility and reduce financial anxiety for those who want to engage in part-time or supported employment. In addition, Services Australia has committed to improving digital access and communication for DSP recipients. The MyGov platform is being upgraded to make it easier for people to upload medical reports, track application progress, and receive reminders for reporting income or updates. This change is particularly beneficial for rural and remote Australians who previously had to rely on paper-based forms or in-person visits to Centrelink offices. From a policy standpoint, the government is also piloting a disability transition program designed to help young people move smoothly from the youth allowance or job seeker payments to the DSP when they reach eligibility. This reform aims to close the gap that many young Australians with disabilities face when transitioning from education to long-term support systems. Critics, however, have expressed concerns about whether the increases and reforms go far enough. Some disability advocates argue that while the indexation and flexibility are welcome, the payment still falls short of covering essential living expenses, especially for those paying rent in high-cost cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Others have pointed out that delays in medical reviews and inconsistent assessments remain a serious issue for new applicants. In response, the Department of Social Services has announced that $45 million has been allocated for administrative improvements and staff training at Centrelink. This funding is expected to reduce waiting times, modernize internal systems, and ensure caseworkers have access to better guidance when assessing disability claims. Economists and social policy experts have generally welcomed the changes, saying that while they might not revolutionize the system overnight, they represent a meaningful step toward a fairer, more responsive social support network. The focus on digital accessibility, incremental payment rises, and work incentives reflects a shift in government thinking, acknowledging that disability support should not only provide financial stability, but also empower individuals to live independently and participate in the community where possible. Overall, the 2025 DSP updates reflect a gradual but positive transformation of Australia's welfare system. The government is signaling its intention to support people with disabilities in a way that values both dignity and opportunity. As the new policies roll out, recipients are encouraged to check their MyGov accounts or visit their nearest Centrelink office to confirm their updated payment amounts, eligibility details, and reporting requirements. By the end of 2025, the combined impact of these reforms, higher rates, improved assessment methods, and better digital tools, will likely shape a more accessible and compassionate system for Australians living with disabilities. While challenges remain, these changes mark a clear step toward ensuring that the disability support pension continues to serve its purpose in a modern, fair, and evolving economy.